Hey pool owners, in this video we're going to show you how to program your Hayward Sewer Pump VS. Let's jump right in. We're going to plug the power in and you'll see the first couple screens. So when it first turns on, you'll see Hayward variable speed, you'll see the time and date, and you'll see the timer setting. Alright, so we'll just briefly go over the different buttons. All the way to the left here, you'll see the different speed, the preset speed settings. Then you have your menu and the different arrows to control where you want to go. You have a stop and resume button, which basically means if the pump was running and you need to work on the filter or something, you just press that button to stop it. You also have a quick clean feature which runs it at the max speed for an hour. And we'll set the max speed as we go through here, but you'd press that quick clean button. You'd use that when you're want to vacuum the pool, maybe backwash it or whatever you need to do on the highest speed. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is get to the time. We want to set the current time. So we got to get to the configuration menu. So we'll hit menu, and it's locked. So you have to press these two arrows and hold them down for a couple seconds. And then it's unlocked. Okay, so I'll press this right arrow to go to the current time. And if you need to change it, you press this plus button. And from here, you can hit plus or minus to change the day. So I'll set it to Wednesday. And you can change the hour by pressing plus or minus. And you can change the minutes. Same thing, plus or minus. Okay, if the time's set, you can move over to speed selection, and this it's a display of the speed either in RPMs or percentage of the full speed. So if you want to change it to percentage, you just hit down, and then that's it. Then when you're done setting that, you can hit the arrow over. For max allowed speed, again, it's up to you, the homeowner. What you can do before you get to this point, you can play around with the speeds and see what works for your system. You know, maybe you have a small filter and you don't want it to ever run at 3450 RPMs. You know, you can drop that down. Maybe try 3200. And to set that, you just hit the arrow over. And then it gets to your minimum allowed speed. So again, you want to play with this before you set it, but you know, again, up or down, you can set that and hit the over button. Prime duration. This just means when the pump's starting up, it's going to run at full speed to get it fully primed, and so you can, you know, move that down or up. We can leave that at 8 minutes. Okay, so the next screen here is the remote control mode. Currently it's in standalone. This is if you don't have a control system. But let's say you have a Hayward Pro Logic. You can change that to a relay control. And then you hit over. We'll keep it as a standalone unit. All right, the next screen is low temp operation. It's currently disabled. Basically the low temp operation, let's say, you know, if you're expecting it to freeze or if it gets down to 35 degrees, you'd want your pump to turn on. So if you want that feature, you would just hit the down arrow, change it to enabled, and hit over. Okay, and then the next screen, it would have a low temp setting. This is basically when you'd want the pump to turn on. So currently it'd be turning on at 39 degrees Fahrenheit. Reset all parameters. If you ever want to reset your schedule, you would just hit plus for yes. All right, so that's everything you would set in the configuration menu. You can hit menu. And then to save everything, you have to hit plus. So that'll save everything that we just set. And obviously minus would disregard everything you just set. So if you want to save it, press plus. And then everything's set. All right, the next step in the programming would be setting your timers. So to get to the timer setting screen, you just hit Menu, hit it again. That brings up the timers menu. Press over. And this will bring up your timer 1 setting. So to change it, on this screen you hit plus. And once you hit plus, you'll see that the timer icon is blinking. You can change the name if you want to water feature or whatever, whirlpool. But typically we'll just leave it at timer. And you'll hit over. This is where you can set the RPMs. A lot of people will run it on high for a couple hours, and they'll run it on low. So we'll start it off in a high setting. So you just hit plus. Maybe we'll run it at 2300 RPMs. Once you get that set, you hit over, and then you want to set the time for when you want it to turn on. So we'll have it turn on at 7 a.m. And then when you want that high speed to end, you set that time just by clicking over and down. Let's say we'll have it run till noon. Okay, then once you get the time set, you can click over and choose the days of the week. And you got a couple different options, Monday to Friday. You can do each day individually. Most people are going to go with 7 days a week. So we can leave that there. And hit over. And then you have your timer 1 set up. So after you get timer 1 set up, you can click over to timer 2. It's currently set to off, but we can hit the plus sign and then go ahead and program timer 2. All right, so we had timer 1 on a high speed. We'll put timer 2 on a lower speed just to kind of circulate the water. And again, this is going to be different on every pool, but you'll have to play around, see what works for you. And then we got to set the time. So the other one, first timer was turning off at 12 p.m. So we'll have the next one. So once you'll set to 12 p.m., then we'll go over and set the turn off time. So let's say we want to run it in low from 12 to 7 p.m. And you hit over. We're already decided we're going to do 7 days a week, so that's fine. Hit over. And then the timer 2 is set up. And if you wanted to set a timer 3 and 4, you just do the same steps over and over again. Okay, after you get your timer set, then you just hit menu, and it's going to ask you to either save it or disregard. So we'll go ahead and save that. Okay, the last thing that you may want to program are the speeds you see here on the left-hand side. They come preset from the factory. Speed 1 is 1,000 RPMs, speed 2 is 1,750 RPMs, speed 3 is 2,500 RPMs, and speed 4 is 3,250 RPMs. So if you want to change those speeds, this is how you do it. You press menu again. If it's locked, you just press these two. All right. And then you hit menu again until you see where it says speeds menu. Press over. All right, there we have speed 1. You press over. The duration, it's just, if you ever press these buttons, how long do you want it to run? Let's say you want it to run for an hour. You press over. This is the speed. So again, the preset was 1,000, but you can change this. So you want to do 1,200. Hit over. It moves you down to speed 2. You hit over, and there's the duration. We'll leave it there at 30. Set at 1750. You can change that if you want to. Say at 1800. So you continue to do that for speed 3 and speed 4. When you're ready to save them, you just hit menu, and again, the plus sign will save it. The minus sign will disregard it. So you hit plus to save, and that's it for the speed settings. Okay, this doesn't have to do with programming, but you might find this part of the menu helpful. It's the diagnostic menu. So again, we'll unlock it. Hit menu until you see the diagnostic menu. Hit over, and this will you can see different things like the display revision. You have your serial number. This screen displays the firmware revisions. This displays the status of the internal DC bus voltage. All right, this is the motor current. This is the real-time display of the motor input current. All right, next is the power usage. It's the real-time display of pump power usage. All right, and this is your drive temperature. And the last one is the event log. Basically, this records any type of errors that have occurred with the pump. And to get out of that, you just hit menu. That wraps up how to program your variable speed pool pump. If you have any questions, leave a comment down below, and don't forget to visit us over at inyopools.com for all your swimming pool needs. Thanks for watching.